Welcome back. Sorting is the process of arranging data in a particular order. Here you can see the numbers have been sorted in ascending order. Today we will talk about sorting an array. This video session is the second part of the series Think First, and if you have not viewed the first one, it would be better to view the same before going through this one. There are many methods to sort numbers. Bubble sort, selection sort and insertion sort are simple to understand but not that efficient. There are sorts like quicksort and heap sort which have low time complexity. Sometimes when you have huge files to be sorted and you cannot load all the numbers to the RAM, you are forced to use external sorts like merge sort. Isaac Newton once said that he was able to see so far because he stood on the shoulders of giants. So before we propose our new algorithms of our own, let us study the works of computer scientists before us. In this slide, you can see an array which contains 10 random unsorted numbers. In a notebook, I will request all of you to write down the numbers in ascending order. Chances are 99% of people viewing this video, when they write the numbers in sorted order, they would use the very same method. You may have done the same thing. You would have looked for the smallest number and written it first. In this case 3. Then you would have located 6 and written the same. This method of finding the smallest number and writing it down is called as selection sort. Let us just think a bit deeper as to how our brains worked out this problem. 23, 11, okay, 11 is smallest till now. 34, 17, 6. Okay, so now 11 is not the smallest, 6 is the smallest. 3, okay, so now 3 is the smallest. 87, 93, 54, 15, 32, 28, 7. That means the smallest number is 3. So we write 3 down. Now we look for the next smallest, but obviously we would not pick 3 again. When we go through the array, we find 6. What is the efficiency of this method? If there are 10 numbers, n is equal to 10, 9 times, that is n minus 1, we look for the minimum. 10th time there is only one number, so no need to look. Effort in finding minimum is approximately n steps. So efficiency is n minus 1 into n steps, approximately n square or the order of n square. For n is equal to 1000, efficiency is 1 million. The strategy is to implement on the computer is called as an algorithm. The algorithm or algo can be implemented in any programming language. In this slide, you can see the C implementation of this algo. Loop n minus 1 times. We will keep count of the rounds we take with the variable I. Each time assume the ith position as the minimum position. Loop through the remaining array, which we will track with the variable j. If the ARR j, that is the current element, is smaller than the smallest number, remember the current position as the minimum one. Once the inner loop completes traversing through the array, swap the smallest number and the ith number. Let us walk through this program step by step. We will use a smaller array here with 6 numbers 23, 11, 34, 17, 6, 3. So, what happens in round 1? I is pointing to 0, j will be moving from position 1 till the end. The table for rounds track the value of j, array contents at the jth position, the minimum position, and finally the minimum value. We will assume the min position is 0 and the minimum value is 23. But as soon as j becomes 1, we realize that 11 is smaller than 23, and we will remember the min position as 1. Now, as j moves from position 2 and 3, you will notice that the minimum value is unchanged at 11. But when j reaches 4, we realize that 6 is smaller than 11, and we will now remember the minimum position as 4. Finally, j reaches the end, the value 3 is smaller than 6. So, for round 1, the minimum position is 5. Now comes an important part. We swap the contents in the array at position 0 and 5. Hence, in the array 23 and 3 are swapped. So, what happens in round 2? I is pointing to 1, j will be moving from position 2 till the end. We will assume the minimum position is 1 and the minimum value is 11. As j goes through second and third, that is 34 and 17, minimum is still 11. When j reaches 4, minimum now becomes 6. Finally, j reaches the end. So, for round 2, the minimum position is 4. Now, we swap the contents in the array at position 1 and 4. Hence, in the array 11 and 6 are swapped. Round 3, 11 finds the right place. Round 4, 17 is already in the right place. Round 5, you will notice the inner loop will only run once, and then 34 and 23 will get swapped. Now, let us recap how the selection sort took place. Have you played cards? Well, when we play the cards, we are dealt a hand. To arrange your hand better, we sort the cards. So, if the hand is kept like this, then as I pick my cards, I tend to keep it in the correct place. So, let us say I got a club 4, then the next card comes, say 7, then we place it on the right side of 4, then we get a 5, and we place it between 4 and 7. Now, we get a 3, and I place it before 4. So, this is a kind of sorting. What name would you like to give to this method? Well, yes, it is called insertion sort. If this has to be done for an array, how will we do it? We will use this array which has 30 numbers to walk through insertion sort. We start by assuming the first number, that is 23, to be in the right place. Now, we place 11 in the correct place. 34, you will notice, is already in the right place. Next, we need to place 17, and we place 17 between 11 and 23. We can continue to do the same for all numbers. Insertion was easy for the cards, as we could adjust the cards around it without much difficulty. but in an array, we would need to shift each number to make place for the numbers to be inserted. So, to put 6 in the right place, we would need to shift 34, 23, 17, 11 and then place 6 in the right place. What is the efficiency of insertion sort? If there are 10 numbers, n is equal to 10, 9 numbers, that is n minus 1, we need to place in the right position. What is the effort to find the correct place? Well, the first number we need to go only one step back, but as we keep processing numbers in the array, we need to travel back more and more. In the very last case, we may need to go back n minus 1 steps. So, we can conclude that approximately n by 2 steps will be needed to find the correct place to insert a given number. So, the efficiency is n minus 1 into n by 2, which is approximately n square or the order of n square. For n is equal to 1000, efficiency is 1 million. Sorting an array which is already sorted becomes a futile exercise. So, how do we check if the array is already sorted or not? Can you think of a logic to check if an array is sorted? One way of doing this would be to go through an array, each time comparing the current number and the next number. In the array shown here, 3 is less than 6, 6 is less than 7, but as we go through, we come to a point where 17 and 15 are not in order. Thus, we know that this array is not sorted. Here is a C program which implements this logic. You will notice the loop runs till n minus 1. Each time we check ARR I with ARR I plus 1. If we get a mismatch, we exit as we realize that the array is not sorted. In case we reach the end of the array, we know that the array is sorted. When we walk through a C program, we realize that we are executing lines of code one after another. When I juggle these 3 balls, I need to have hand-eye coordination. I would need to catch a ball with my left hand and throw another with my right at the very same instance. In nature, multiple things are happening simultaneously. All the 3 balls are in motion at the same time. In a computer, on the other hand, we get a feeling of multitasking, but in reality, it is only doing one task at a time. In a computer, on the other hand, we get a feeling of multitasking, but in reality, it is only doing one task at a time. The time sharing between processes is so cool and efficient that a user can see the needle in a clock moving, listen to a song without any apparent delay, and continue documenting a project proposal. In an operating system like Windows or Linux, multiple processes seem to be running in parallel. When we look at the task manager, we would find many programs and processes are running in parallel. All these processes are sharing the CPU, the RAM, and the other resources which are available on the computer. Computer gives a feel as if the 3 processes are moving together. It is as if it moves one ball by a fraction, then the other 2. Then it returns to shift the 3 balls by a further fraction. New programming paradigms are emerging. Computers with multiple processors are able to do parallel processing. For a single task, multiple computers are working together. This is called distributed computing. There is a sorting competition which is held by Sorting Benchmark. In 2013, a team from Yahoo won the competition. They used a software called Hadoop. using 2100 computers in tandem, they were able to sort 102.5 terabytes in just 4328 seconds, which works out to a whooping 1.42 terabytes of data in a minute. With the growing popularity of internet, people keep looking for solutions in a search engine like Google. Internet is good, but it should not make us dumb. From choosing gifts to innovative party ideas, from teaching presentations to exam questions, from projects to lab programs, students have stopped thinking. If the error message clearly states that the file is missing, what is the need to Google for the same? Instead of trying out maths problem in school, if we had just Googled for the answers, our mathematical ability would have been very poor. I request all prospective programmers to think first, Google later. In this video, we saw two simple sorting techniques, insertion and selection sort. Next video, we will see two efficient n log n sorts, quick and merge sort. Please attempt the quiz provided in the learning management system to assess how much you are able to grasp from this video session. So until next time, happy learning.